Hey there, Abundant Artist Unleashed friends. It's Jennifer Joy here with our Tuesday training. And as I mentioned last time, we are moving our Tuesday trainings for the next little bit into more of a life coaching type training rather than a business training. So today, I wanted to share with you, it's really been interesting because yesterday and today, I have been just feeling really happy, really super happy and content. And then something happens. And I don't know if this happens to you. You can let me know in the comments. I'm feeling good. And then my brain starts to go, oh, but you should be doing something. You should be working more. You should be checking the headlines. You should be cleaning the house. You should be exercising. You should be more concerned because of the situation in the world. So my brain starts going, and all of a sudden, then the happiness starts to decrease a little bit. So do you know what I mean? Have you ever been there where you're doing pretty good and then the thoughts start flowing into your head? Now, last week in our Tuesday training, I talked about being gentle with yourself, right? So what I'm going to talk about today isn't about just like stomping on those thoughts and going, oh my God, I can't believe it, or beating yourself up because you are happy or feeling whatever you're feeling. All feelings are good. Whatever you're feeling is good. And I just wanted to share, like I said, how I've been feeling happy today. So for those of you who have just joined in, very happy the last couple days. And I did turn off my news a bit through the weekend. That might have had something to do with it. And then yesterday I started checking up on headlines once a day. So this happiness is there. And then these thoughts start happening about what I should be doing or how I should be feeling or how I should be reacting. So I wanted to share with you, some of you might have heard of this person before. Her name is Byron Katie. Byron Katie. She goes by Katie, but her name is Byron Katie. And she has this work that she has done for a long time called The Work. Byron Katie's The Work. And I wanted to share that with you today because when those shoulds have started slipping into my brain the last 2 days, I've really worked at saying, no, I'm not going to go there. So here they are. I'm going to read them off my computer screen because I forget the exact wording and I want to be precise with you. So the first question that should starts coming into your head. So maybe it's, I should be more unhappy. I should be worried right now. So my question number one, Byron Katie's question number one is that true? Should I be more worried? Some of you might say yes, some of you can say no. For me, it's no. My life at this moment hasn't changed a whole bunch because I do work from home. Of course, we're looking at, bigger term ramifications, but should I be worried? No, that's not necessarily true. Maybe it's true. So question number two is, can you absolutely know that it is true? Do I absolutely know that I should be worried, like without a shadow of a doubt? And the question is, I can't, I don't absolutely know that's true. How do I react? What happens when I believe that thought that I should be worried? Well, then I start to get worried, or I start to feel bad about myself, or I try to find ways to make myself more worried. I'll go online and start looking at news items and things to really support my worry, right? So that's how I react and what I do when I think I should feel more worried. And then the final question, and this is the one that I've been carrying around a lot the last couple days, is who would I be without that thought? So when that thought starts to, I'm going through my day, feeling very happy, very content, moving on my own schedule. It's been really interesting. And then that thought pops into my head. I should be worried. And who would I be without that thought? Well, I'd be sailing along as I just was. I'd be happy. I'd be content. So isn't it better to move into any challenge from a good place, a place, like I said last week, that isn't a place of struggle? So then I'm able to let that thought go. Like, even if I think it's true that I should be worried, who am I with that thought? I'm worried. I'm seeking drama. I'm feeling icky and anxious, right? So without that thought, I can be happy and content. I'd rather move through life like that and move through this challenge as much as I can like that. Again, that's not to say those feelings won't creep in sometimes. Yet I'm not going to attach to them. I'm not going to attach to the thoughts like my brain trying to bring me down, right? Because we all have these automatic negative thoughts, and I spoke about them a little in last week's training. They just bubble to the surface, and they're based on, who humans used to be when we were more of a primitive society, especially, and we needed to really seek out the issues and the problems in the landscape so that we could survive. And while that's still a little bit true for the most part, we're all pretty safe right now. I don't know what next week's going to bring. Don't know what a month from now is going to bring. But right now, most of us are pretty safe. So I'd rather move toward any challenge that's ahead from a place of thriving rather than just surviving and worrying and thinking I should be doing more at home and I should be reaching out more and I should be doing this more. And oh, the shoulds get crazy making, right? They just get crazy making. So who am I without those shoulds? How can I move through the world with gentleness, with grace, with authenticity? And if it's a day that I am worried, that's fine, but I'm not going to court it. So I wanted to bring this back to what I talked about last week. So last week, we talked about how everyone right now is outside their comfort zone. We're in a new situation that we've never been in before, especially during our lifetimes. And so I want to talk a little bit about the bottom today, which is surviving, not thriving. So how are you thriving and where are you surviving? So one of the ways you can thrive instead of survive is by getting rid of those shoulds, by telling yourself they're not necessarily true, right? Are they absolutely true? How do you react to them? And who would you be without that thoughts? Again, that's the work of Byron Katie. And thriving, so getting rid of the shoulds, but also here are some of the things from my Fearless Living Life Coach training. I am a master Fearless Living coach and trainer. And thriving means trusting yourself, speaking up for yourself, saying yes to your needs and desires, forgiving yourself and others, asking for support, setting healthy boundaries, and more. So I encourage you to do two things as we move through this next week. I will be back again. Oh, last week I did a training, or I at least jumped on video at the end of the week. I may do that again this week. But until next week's training, I'd love for you to practice two things. Number one, when the shoulds start coming, ask yourself those 4 questions. I will review them one more time. I have to read them off my screen. Number one is whatever's moving through your head, especially an automatic negative thought. Is it true? Can you absolutely know it's true? Or a should? How do you react? What do you do when you believe that thought? When you believe that thought, not that it's necessarily true, when you believe that thought, and who would you be without that thought? And like I said, I've been carrying around that last one mostly. Who am I without that thought? And how can I practice that and be in a mode of surviving? So I'd love for you to do that, combat those shoulds with those questions, especially who would I be without that thought? And number 2, practice some of these thriving things on this thriving list, and also ask yourself what it means to you to thrive rather than survive. And I would love to hear from you in the comments. It's such a great gift to me when you leave a comment and I know that this has spoken to you. Janet, I saw your thumbs up. Thank you so much for leaving a comment. If you don't have an insight or a comment or a way that you've been shoulding on yourself, I love that expression, or a way that you're thriving, either one of those things, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Or as always, you can leave a thumbs up or a heart. That helps keep this video active in the feed of other community members so that everyone gets access to the training. So I am so happy to be here with you today. I hope I've been of value to you. And just get out there into your home, into your sphere, and start asking yourself, who would you be without that thought that's negative? And who could you be without that thought? Until next time, bye-bye.